Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal, ordinal, ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. This is an interview that I've been looking forward to for a long time. We have Mr. Lucky 777 from BTC Machines. This is one of the OG projects in the space. Every time, people I ask people who would you like to see on the show? They always tell me Bitcoin Machines. We finally got them here today, and I'm so excited to get this one going. If you don't know who Bitcoin Machines are, you need to take a history lesson on Ordinals, because these guys come up very early in the process. We're going to get into their entire process, and this is what's going to be, guys. You guys are going to get everything you need to know about what happened in Ordinals to what's going to happen in Runes, and I'm so excited for this one. So without further ado, let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up?
What's going on, man?
Not
so
much.
We got
not much.
we got Mr. Lucky finally. We've been trying to get him on the show for a while, and today's that day. What can you tell me about Bitcoin Machines before we get started?
Well, before I get into that, I had the pleasure of actually meeting Mr. Lucky 777 at NYC NFT NYC. Keep getting that backwards. You know, just at some side events and stuff. Really cool guy, down to earth. But yeah, so the machines, man, they've been around for a very long time. You know, the earliest inscription starts at like the sub 50K. I think it's 38,000, and it goes all the way to like the 81,000 range. So they are very, very early with their collection. That's the original collection of 777. But you know, the thing I noticed about them is that they have been like curating their community like since the inception. You know, they've really, you know, built this like community vibe to where, you know, people want, you know, others to learn about them. You know, we have a couple BTC Machine community members in our community, and you know, they reached out to us, you know, said, hey, let's get the machines on, and we're like, yeah, you know, times were busy before. We tried to coordinate that, didn't work out, but we got them on now. I'm excited to hear about, you know, what they got going on, because they do a lot of stuff. GameFi, token, Ordinal collection, multiple Ordinal collections too within their ecosystem. So it's exciting.
Yeah. And shout out Patty Poo. Patty Poo is rocking the machine, man. Been rocking the machine for a long time. So shout out community member there. But let's get the thing started. Let's bring in Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky, welcome to Ordinal Revolution, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me here. And yeah, it took a little bit more time than I wanted, but here I am. And thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it and grateful to be here.
Thank you, man. So we'll kind of get right into it. Obviously, you know, in the space, we want to talk about the project. We can't wait to get into ZBIT and Runes and stuff. But take us far back as possible and kind of get into kind of your background if you can.
Yeah. So PAPO, the co-founder, and me, we launched BTC Machine in February of 2023. So that's about, you know, more than a year. Before that, we actually met doing a sales job, door to door. We were selling heating and ventilation and cooling equipment, so ACs and the heating systems in the house, and that's where we met. That experience, by the way, really changed my whole perspective of human beings and psychology and stuff like that. It was an important point. So we kind of lived that experience together. We bonded. And then from there, when I was investing in crypto back in, I would say like first real time that I was involved at the beginning of Ethereum, was it 2017? Yeah, I started talking about crypto a little bit, but it wasn't before 2020 that I really went in with a larger amount at that time, you know, a few tens of thousands of dollars on Ethereum. And I called him and I said, hey, this is what I just did. Like, this cycle is going to pop off. Like, we're getting to new all-time highs, and it's going to overshoot it. And like, it's a good opportunity. He said, Cool, buy me some ETH or Bitcoin. And I couldn't because my KYC account, but it was like kind of weird. So finally he said, you know what, never mind, I'll put $500 in Dogecoin instead. And he made $1 million with that. Started a bunch of things. and he started a bunch of things on his side. And then he said, you know what, we should do, I started looking into NFTs on Ethereum. And, you know, we were trying some stuff like, you know, when you're a noob, you try a lot of things and it doesn't work out. But then we started to get involved with projects and we made our way through connections, and we were getting a lot of demand. You know how that 2021 bull run was crazy for NFTs, like projects selling out left and right. And we were helping some founders with the marketing. That was my part. And he was more smart contract and doing the art. So he did like 30 to 60 different collections, 30 to 60 you know, smart contracts, things like that for the tokens or whatever they needed, right? The websites and things like that, more the dev side, and art also, which is like a really crazy mix for one human being, you know, to nail these two things. And I was dealing with the Discord, the Twitter, the community, building this, doing the marketing campaigns and organizing like the larger vision and all of that. So we developed those skills. And at one point we were like, let's do our own project. And we should do like kind of machines that print ETH, you know, kind of a concept. So let's do ETH machines. But then the market crashed on us. And yeah, that was over. That idea never started. So later I was keeping track of crypto and I saw a video of Udi, the one that inscribed the 4 mega wizard at around 600 or 800 inscription. And I said, oh my God, this is happening on Bitcoin. You're kidding me. So I inscribed my first inscription with Ordinals bot, a third-party tool. I called him. I said, hey man, this is happening. He says, we should do a collection. And what should we do? I said, dude, we had ETH machine. Let's do BTC machine. And then we started and we didn't sleep for fucking 5 days. And you know, yes, the rest is history.
That's amazing, man. So this is such a great story. Like, you know, you met this guy in, you know, IRL job, you know what I mean? You guys are heating and air conditioning to being this, I mean, obviously I think you guys are like a top 5 early project on Bitcoin. What would you say that process was that very like exciting, or was it just kind of like nerve-wracking because you guys were trying to get early numbers, correct?
Yeah, it was a mix of everything. It makes me feel like this part that we're in right now with the runes, just trying to figure out how am I going to bulk inscribe runes? How am I going to get my runes early? How does this work? The tech is not there. There's no tools. There's no more. Who's going to be the marketplaces? Who are going to be the winners? Like nothing was done at that time. You know, sub 100K was just starting. 30K was like, wow, super early. So it's just figuring it out. It's a mix of stress because you don't know, like it's uncertainty, but it's also super exciting because you know, like there's activity and people are trying to figure it out, and you have competition and you have new players coming in, and you're creating connections and so on and so forth. So it's really both, I would say. It was like I will never forget this time. And yeah, it's just no sleep. You know, it's not time to sleep at that time.
Yeah.
It's got to be exciting and scary a little bit, because you're excited because you trusted your gut intuition to come over to Ordinals, but at the same time we were still in like pretty deep into the bear market, right? So like you have to realize that, okay, the bull market's probably not going to come for a while. We got to spend money to inscribe these. Also, how are we going to keep our community interested? So there's a lot to that. Like, what was, you know, your strategy to keep things going when, you know, things slow down?
We didn't have a doubt about this because back in ETH, you know, the 30 or 60 projects, I can't tell a number. Like for real, it was just like mania. phase where we were doing just maxing out everything that we could every single second. I was at all time in about 6 Discord, managing a minimum of 6 Twitter. Like, we were working on multiple projects at the same time. PAPO, same thing, like doing few collections at a time. He had to figure out some little tweaks and things, particularities that the founder wanted included in their collections and stuff like that. GPT scripts were also, you know, being more popular. I learned about that at that time, so including a bunch of things. So yeah, we're just used to like doing massive actions, and I think that's why like people, they say that we're crazy. We've done so many things, and probably like even our OG, like the top people that we talk with every day, and they have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of our stuff, they don't know even 50% of what we do. Like, we do so much stuff. Right now, I probably have like 15 things in the background that I'm working on right now. And Rune is just one of these things. And it's just like, oh, this takes 3 months. So, you know, nobody knows about it for 3 months, but I'm working on it and, you know, doing this stuff. So we're just used to that. We're like super massive action oriented, massive action, and we know like we're here to make something happen. You know, we're not here for just like a second place or just have fun or things like that. No, we want to really, you know, make some noise, and that's the part that is exciting for us. We're competitive. Sorry. We're competitive, and yeah, we like to be number one, like the game stone. You know, we we regained we did a massive airdrop of 112,777 to all rune stones, plus like 300 more extra, just to beat the runestone airdrop. And we kept that title for a few days until another airdrop was done, like 200K. So, you know, it's kind of stuff that we're doing. We like to be early. We inscribed the 23rd rare, the 23rd uncommon SAT. We inscribed the 3rd rare SAT. We inscribed you know, so we're trying everything, and we just want to like, yeah, man, like, we're competitive. We like to do cool stuff, and we think that that energy translate into value for our holders, because we're always at the forefront, or like not much behind it, and we're willing to take massive action.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So okay, you guys kind of trucking along, you know, you have your first and original collection that you guys put out there, and I remember when you guys put those cassette tapes out, because that was a little bit after I first got into the space, and I thought that was really cool, because you had to figure out who did this, right? And I figured out it was you guys. But like a little bit fast forward a little bit from there, you had the viruses and stuff like that, another collection. And so like I see this ecosystem building out, and in my mind I'm like, okay, why they're not having any of the fungible token fun, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see ZBIT. And ZBIT gets deployed, and people are starting to talk about ZBIT and how you guys are trying to integrate it into your ecosystem. Can you talk about the ZBIT token and what your idea and plan was behind that?
Yeah, so so our strategy, you know, just so you know, we inscribed 350,000 ordinals at the moment, and that's about 20% of the art inscribed on Bitcoin.
Wow.
So, yeah. So the goal is to inscribe first, because we knew that low inscription numbers would have some value, and we have a whole world that we built. You know, BTC Machine is like, there's a whole universe, and it's going to become clearer, and we're going to be able to showcase more and more as the update comes in our MMORPG, which is our main project. Like, this is a big chunk of BTC Machine. It's our MMORPG that has been live for a few months right now. So this universe, there's going to be some assets that are backed by Bitcoin. They're called ordinals. You know, those are what we inscribe, whether it's land, whether it's different characters like the BTC virus and so on. So that was our focus. And we didn't think about like tokens and the economics, because for us it was like either BTC or we would create our in-game currency. So we didn't think about that really. But when Domo started Ordi and the BRC20 protocol, it made a lot of noise. Like inscription went from 2 million to freaking 10 million in like a matter of days, if not like weeks. And it was increasing and making a lot of noise, taking a lot of space on the blockchain. And we couldn't fade it, but we tried to, until our DAO. So we have a portion of our Discord, of our community, that is involved largely in the DAO. They have their own treasury. They're doing their own things, giving whitelist to the holders of the DAO pass, a bunch of things. And they said, let's do BRC20. Let's not wait. Now is the time. So we said, okay, guys, do it. And we came up with the name ZBIT. We minted the whole supply, and the DAO focused on like the distribution. So for each of the assets that you would hold, you would get a certain amount of ZBITs that you could claim for free. Just pay the fees. And then there was a large portion, I think it was 40%, that was allocated to outside communities, to bring in more people to our community, to give value right off the bat to anybody that wanted to join and have some skin in the game from BTC Machine. So that was a free claim, 777 ZBIT at a time. Some could mint 111. So there were different classes of like our partners for that. And yeah, finally we have ZBIT, which is our ecosystem currency. So not all the ordinals, not all the in-game items are ordinals. So you cannot, let's say you have a operator, which is your character, or a survivor, you can list it on Magic Eden and get Bitcoin for it. But if you find a rock in the game, it's not an ordinal, right? It's not a part of our collections. Or if you find a feather or something like that. So how do you get crypto from that? Well, you put it on a marketplace that we have active right now, and you list it for an amount of ZBIT. And with that ZBIT, then you're in the crypto world, right? You're in cryptocurrency. And then you can trade it for Bitcoin or sorry, for any other crypto that you want. So that's the economy. That's the like link to Web 2 and Web 3 assets within our universe. That's I don't know if it answers your question. I went on a big
yeah. No, it did answer the question. I feel like it's actually really smart. I spoke to you about it, I believe, on our spaces last week too, a little bit. And you said that, you guys try to integrate the BRC20 protocol into your ecosystem, and it was just really tough. And it wasn't a good user experience. And so that's what makes you excited about Runes. Are you confident that Runes can give that experience of, being able to trade on the Centaura marketplace?
Well, I'm not the dev. I didn't read the documents about Runes, but based on what I hear and how the motivation for Casey for doing this whole thing, the Runes protocol, it was to have ownership on chain. It was to facilitate transactions, so not having those transfer inscriptions, the two-step kind of transfer. So I'm not sure if all of this is like solved already, and if it's going to be like this much better. But there's a reason why Casey went out of his way to do this, and he saw some disadvantage in the BRC20 that everybody is seeing, right? It's like, it's not like sending BTC, so I can just choose an amount and just send it to you, pay the fees, and we're done. It's more complicated. Imagine creating a marketplace with that. We have it right now, it's working, but it's just a pain. It costs twice as much fees, it's long. Like, imagine waiting 6 blocks to do a transaction. Like, you want to do it fast as possible, buy an item or flip an item that you found. You know, you just killed a mega boss. You find a fire sword, a rare 1 of 1. You're listing it on the marketplace, and you want to buy some other stuff, and the whole process takes 6 blocks. It's like, it's really complicated. So yeah, that's the idea. And the more I learn about it, the more I see, like, maybe, you know, it's going to be better, and just need to find out exactly the details. But yeah, man, there's so much to dig into. The tools are not there. We're going to see when it's live, but I'm confident that Casey did that for a reason. And the way I see it, it's going to be as easy as sending Bitcoin.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what we're hearing too. So that's good.
So my question is, my next question: what's the team look like? How many? Obviously, it's you and your co-founder, but how many people have you guys onboarded to the actual BTC machine team?
So we just hired maybe 2 months ago 2 new pixel artists. There's a dev, very important, that is helping with the backend stuff, the MMORPG. There's also his friend. So we kind of had 2 dev right now, 2 pixel artists. PAPO is managing the team, filling in the holes. We have a CFO that we're bringing also on board. So I would say, like, the core team is probably 4 or 5, and then you have like 2 or 3 extra that are on the payroll. But really, the biggest part is the community. So whether we reward them with Ordinals, ZBIT, Bitcoin, USDC, we have like a huge community and people that are just willing to help us with anything that we need. And they have any skill that you can imagine. And, you know, sometimes it's a partnerships, you know, other projects. So it's really the whole Ordinal community, the way I see it. But you can say that BTC Machine is like maybe eight people right now, the core team.
That's awesome. And you know, obviously you guys came out and said that ZBIT will now be a BRC20. Well, it's a BRC20 now, but you guys are going to be a Rune token, right? Could you explain to me the plan in place to convert from BRC20 to Rune?
So there's going to be, it's most probably going to be a claiming system, because we want to really turn the page on BRC20. So if we just airdrop, then you're going to have both, right? It's going to be like a fork. Basically like Bitcoin, when you receive Bitcoin Cash, you have both. Then you can sell one and prefer the other or whatever. We just want to focus like all the liquidity, all the activity, all the attention on the Rune, because we believe it will be the winner. And the one that has the most liquidity, the most useful for our ecosystem. So by doing a claim, we'll be able to take the BRC20 version of the ZBIT, burn it, and then transfer the Rune version. That's the plan.
Gotcha. So you're basically is the person holding the ZBIT token burning it, or is he burns it when he claims it?
He burns it when he claims it.
Okay, I got you. So it makes sense.
All right. So are you and your team are convinced that BRC20 is going to kind of fade away? It seems like, or in your mind, it doesn't really matter, like, because you guys are just convinced of that, like, Runes is going to be the main token, the one and only.
I think it's going to bring a lot more attention on tokens on Bitcoin. I don't think BRC20s will die. It's kind of like the early NFTs, like the CryptoPunks. They didn't follow the same standard. I think it's EIP something. I don't remember really. My mind is like focused on Bitcoin, so I don't remember. But I know that they were made following another standard, and then, you know, once a standard was adopted that, okay, let's all follow the same thing, it will be easier for everybody, this is probably close to the best way of doing it, then everybody was using that standard for collections. So CryptoPunk didn't die, right? It's like, it's I don't know how much it is right now, maybe 100K, 150K USD. There's definitely a market for it. Rocks, same thing. I don't think they use the new protocol or whatever on ETH, but the majority of the activity from new builders, new projects, and that's all with the new one. So I think that will be the same. You'll have Ordi, you'll have Sats, you'll have a few like OG historical BRC20s. And then I met Domo and I learned that there's going to be BRC 2.0, or, you know, there's going to be an upgrade coming for that. So there's, I don't know. I'm not the dev. I can't give my opinion on that, but it's definitely not going to die. I just believe that what will bring liquidity, as we saw with pups, right? And what happened with just one influencer showing, you know, one buy from a community like Solana, you know, they're super active and everything. You can see how there's liquidity that is ready to come in if they have the right on ramp, right? And yeah, it's going to make so much noise. This is going to be huge. So BRC20 will be probably not getting any of it, if very little compared to runes, because people will be coming in for runes. Same thing for Ordinals. Like, you were at the Magic Eden yacht party?
No, we didn't go to that one. We were at the Noche party afterwards, but yeah, you know, it's interesting that you brought up the CryptoPunks, because the way that they did it was they actually they put the NFTs on chain, like with Ethereum, and then they went away from, they went away from that method, and then they went to the IPFS links, and now it's like circling back to Bitcoin, where it's going back on chain, right? That's but CryptoPunks are worth the most, right, in terms of their ecosystem. So that's pretty cool.
But BRC20, it's hard to have the ownership on chain. Like it's really by using a third party, you know, an indexer. Yeah, so I think even from that standpoint, you can't really compare it, but it's yeah, that's funny.
We'll just have to see. It's gonna be interesting to see like what happens with BRC 20 2.0. But there's definitely two camps right now, and one camp has all the attention in terms of runes that's coming up, you know, including our channel. We're going to be covering it like nonstop here in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, you know, it seems really exciting for you guys and your community, you know, with this new token coming out, as well as just like, you know, having the RPG game as well. So excited to see what you guys have.
Very exciting. You guys are going to be one of the few tokens that actually have like a team backing them. Like a lot of these are going to be just like meme coins, and Solana, like, you know, shit coins and stuff like that are probably going to be what you're going to see most and what you're just going to see pumping. But I think you and I think IMSO Chris are one of the few like projects that are actually going to potentially use these tokens in gaming and stuff, right? Are you guys going to be using this new rune in your games, you said, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we have already a marketplace that is functioning with BRC20. When you find an item that is not an ordinal in the game, you can list it there. A little bit like old school RuneScape. If there's any player of old school RuneScape, there's a centralized exchange. There's a marketplace for in-game items. So the same way, there's going to be a centralized marketplace for anything that you find Web 2 in the game, and people will be able to come with ZBIT and buy it instead of like trying to farm it or killing the specific difficult boss that you manage to kill, or complete the quest that is difficult to achieve. So that's good. That's where the whole economy will be you know, born, is from that Web 2 Web 3 integration. And then the ordinal will just be like a class of super rare artifacts. Like you'll see a person in a blue moon passing with a machine or something like that. You know, that will be like, wow. And we'll put out some mechanics so everybody can participate also to the ordinal sides, because having these ordinals in our game will give you access to exclusive content. But you can actually monetize as a holder. Like you have a machine And this quest or this boss, you can only access if you have a machine. Well, once you beat it, you want to give a chance to other players to access it also. Maybe they don't have 100K to spend for a machine, but they can rent it for 24 hours for $500 maybe. So we'll have those integration and let people like use your asset, and the holders will be rewarded for that and be able to monetize their asset without having to sell it. That's how I'm imagining it. So a lot of cool things coming, but you know, what's operational right now is the marketplace. So right now, if you create an account for free on Satoria.world, you can start your character, you find anything, a sword, a wooden shield or whatever, you can put it on the marketplace. Somebody can come in with ZBIT and buy it in the BRC format right now. So all of that will be replaced to runes once we migrate to runes. And hopefully that will be easier process and everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's cool. There's not a ton of ordinal collections that have like those kind of functioning ecosystems, you know. I know like Butoshi and the Booze, Bitcoin Booze have like their game and stuff like that. And there's a couple other ones that like to have that marketplace, and it's active with the BRC20 token. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Last question for me is, are you guys ever planning on like going cross chain, or is it Bitcoin only for you?
How do you mean? Like, can you give me an example of
like NFTs or collections or anything? Like, is your ecosystem going to stay on Bitcoin? Because I know that you guys have experience from Ethereum before. So
yeah. So we were thinking of that in the past. I think our holders and everything were, you know,
against it.
well, PAPO was definitely like, you know, let's stay on Bitcoin. This is our home and everything. And I kind of agree. You know, the reason why we're here and why this is an opportunity is because Bitcoin was boring before, and now it's not going to be. And this is our place. This is our home. This is what we're doing. But as there are like Reddit avatars, you know, do you count that in the cross chain or something like that? Like, we want to get activity and visibility in other communities. But right now, I think it will be achieved just with runes and the halving that is going to come. So I don't think it's necessary to do like a collection on ETH or another chain, because the purpose for that would be to enable people to have a piece of our ecosystem without, you know, in an easy way. But now it will be possible with ZBIT and runes, and those things will be integrated everywhere. Ordinals, it's already starting. So yeah, there's going to be some bridges and a lot of activity there. I think that will be the best way to do it, to get involved. And Bitcoin, the ecosystem of Bitcoin, which is really a niche right now. Like, Ordinals is a niche within a niche within a niche, like 3 levels down.
Yeah.
Will be expanding to the whole crypto enthusiast because of runes, in my opinion.
I definitely agree with you 100%. I'm curious to your opinion on side chains. Obviously, you know that some of them are calling themselves layer 2s. They're not really layer 2s. You can't have a layer 2 on Bitcoin. But what's your opinion on smart contract side chains like Merlin and like B2 and stuff like that? Do you think that has a shot potentially? So you guys can use smart contracts and things like that, and then kind of bridge in and bridge out?
Yeah, I think they have their purpose, because the more activity there'll be, then the more value it will have to have layer 2s or side chains. But then the more side chains you have, the more people will be exposed to risk and will lose, and there'll be some problems and things like that. So the more problems and the more issues and the more L2 there is, the more people will flock back to L1, and it's just a cycle, right? But it is something that is necessary, I think, in one aspect, just for market product fit and to explore, you know, because we basically expanded Ordinals and all the tools we have like this fast in the last year, because of everything that happened on Ethereum and all the other chains. We took our experience from those chains that are fast moving, they're more centralized, they can try more things, and there's freaking 20,000 I don't know how many L1s there are, but like there's so many projects and different chains. So, you know, we took this and Ordinal and we just said, okay, this is going to be for sure a good product, a good tool. People want this. We know it's tested. So let's implement it in Ordinals. So the same way we built the infrastructures for Ordinals in the first year as fast as we did because of those chains, I think it will continue and be even more relevant as a market product tester with those L2. And maybe some will, you know, they'll capture more market share, and you know, so it's going to be interesting to see. But I think that eventually we'll figure out a way to make it all work on L1 more and more. So we'll unlock new possibilities and new layers and new ways of viewing the Bitcoin blockchain layer 1, and to use it to basically have what we want from the L2s. I know it's like a little bit an idea, but that's the trend that I'm seeing. Like Bitcoin was just a store of value 2 years ago, and now it's like JPEG land and shitcoin land, you know, casino land. So many things, DeFi, and so it's coming. It's coming. It's just a matter of our imagination and and getting there, you know.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
There you go.
I was gonna say that, like, you know, once they opened Pandora's box and there was an on-chain economy that was like increased in volume of users to a certain point, there was no turning back. You know, you had your counter party and stuff like that where you could buy with Bitcoin, but it was the user count was so low. Now it's gone to the point to where you got like shitcoining fungibles, right? So I think there's no turning back. And I agree, like it's going to rotate to the L2s just like it did on Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, all of those, and then AVAX and or similar EVMs, and then it goes back to Ethereum. Same thing will probably happen here, but that's just my 2%.
Yeah, it's figuring out like the market needs, and it depends also on the situation. Like some people cannot operate on Bitcoin because it's their weekly salary just to freaking do anything on Bitcoin. So it's maybe, you know, it's like owning a piece of Manhattan. Maybe, you know, you have enough money, you can own the land. Maybe you don't have enough, so you do the building on it. Maybe you don't even have enough money to own a building, so you rent an office and you build a business in it. Maybe you don't have enough money for that or the skills, so you work for the business in it. So everybody's going to have their place in this ecosystem. It's not all going to be happening on L1, but it's going to tend towards this because it's really the best place and the most secure, especially for those who have like the most funds or like the most wealth to protect through time, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this is all good for Bitcoin, right? It's all good for the miners. It's all good for security. It's all good for the entire ecosystem to have JPEGs and have these shitcoins running on them, because like Casey's making this shitcoin casino to benefit Bitcoin with burning of actual Bitcoin with everything else. And at the end of the day, we're all Bitcoiners, right? So
yeah, 100%. Like the amount of Bitcoin that will be lost, that will be used, that will be locked up because of all the activity that will be happening is just going to benefit the whole network. Like you said, like all the parties, even the holders of those assets, Bitcoin, just regular Bitcoin, and the miners and those who are running the nodes, and everybody's going to benefit from this increased activity. And we're just at the start of it. So yeah, Casey really unlocked a major possibility for all of us, and I think it will be regarded as like one of the most important change in Bitcoin in the next few years. by
Yeah,
everybody.
before the show, we were kind of talking about like potentially what do you think your rune number could be, and you were like, I just hope I'm in the top 1,000. You said potentially we could have like 1,000 runes in the first block. Is that something you really think?
Yeah, from how I understand it, but here's the way I operate is that, like I said, I'm running like 15 tracks at the same time, right? 15 things at the same time, and it's no problem. I like this. I like to like do a lot of things, stay busy, and we're building this. We're giving a lot of value to people. It's changing lives, right? So it's exciting, but like that requires me to do some sacrifices on some fronts, and I'm a little bit last minute because of that. So like for this show, like it was last minute, 5 minutes before. I don't prepare anything and it just go with the flow. With runes it's a bit the same, but now since it's so important, I'm starting a little bit earlier. This is early for me, 12 days to start thinking about some stuff and digging in. But as the halving starts to it gets closer, I'll deep dive more and more, because it's the time, right? It's like a snapshot. So from what I heard, right, there's some miners that will be just forgetting about the mempool and saying, I'm gonna mine this block, and they're gonna have some kind of OTC deal or something. And yeah, they can inscribe like the first 1,000 runes, or if their block gets confirmed on the second block, they'll be in the 2,000 first ones. Or so yeah, there's going to be some competition at a few level for sure. I don't know, I'm not qualified at this moment to really make an accurate idea. I can't. It's like too early still.
Yeah.
But I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, I think that the first 10,000 will be like, if you blink, you'll be like past 10,000 first runes for sure.
That's just so much fun to think about, like I wasn't even thinking that, like, that's possible. It's definitely possible. From my knowledge as well. Like, I didn't even think in my head, I'm like, yeah, the first 10 will be on the halving block. But no, now you got me thinking we could have thousands and thousands of runes within the first couple hours. Like,
yeah, the miners can just say, oh, you know what, I can monetize this better than just trying to get the first block or second block. I'll just do OTC deals and get 1,000 runes in there, and I'll sell tickers and fucking make a shit ton of money, because at the end of the day, they just want to pay their electricity. So they're thinking about monetizing their freaking warehouses full of computing power. So they it's not emotional. And that's what's beautiful about Bitcoin. It's the free market. It's like you get what you get, and it's the truth, and it's open, and everybody can see it and deal with it,
100%.
Yes, sir.
I want to show up your Twitter here. You guys only have one Twitter, and so if you go to their Twitter, BTC Machines, they got 65,000 followers. Make sure it's the right one that you're on, and then all their links and everything are on here, correct?
Yeah, so like at the top of the bio, that's really, like, for me, it's great because you can see the banners. Those are, if you're completely new to BTC Machine, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to hear me talk about a bunch of things. You can see in the banner, that's our first collection, so you can zoom in or whatever machines. Yeah, those are our OGs. So if you exit that, you'll see, like, we have the handle. PAPO's idea was to get the BTC Ordinal handle. So
that was a good idea.
Yeah, because I was like, no, take BTC Machine. Oh, can we hear the music if you press on play?
I can. I guess I gotta do something else.
Is there music for the image in the back?
On the website? Yeah.
Let me see.
He was on the website. Yeah.
Let me just check and do it 1 second, because you have to do one more. There you go. Okay, now when I click it,
know, with the pixel art, you have the
What you gotta do?
you have the OG, you know, low res music that goes well with the pixelated
Yeah.
brand. Anyways, I just rock to that song for hours sometimes, you know. But anyway, so yeah, you have all the links there on our website, but just on the Twitter page, it's fantastic because you have also like if you want to know more about ZBIT, so you have the ZBIT tag there. You can see what are the latest news if you click on the ZBIT under BTC Machine.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so you can see like the most the top post about it and kind of what people are saying about it, the latest. Yeah, exactly. So you have ZBIT there. You have our handle. It's us, BTC Ordinal. You have the machine in the banner. You have our Discord that you clicked. So you can you know, my DMs are open. I'm trying to be there for new comers, but like I have so many DMs, but I still keep them open. Mr. Lucky 777, just shoot me a message or tag me in the general chat. You can also chat with our community. They're the best. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Like btcmachine.gg, and you have a bunch of extra info there. So everything is in the bio.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. This is kind of the part of the show where I kind of let you have a few minutes with our community. You can kind of say whatever you want if you have anything at all.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that time. I just think that what we're doing is much bigger than images and coins and like being financially independent or whatever. I really think that we're building the future. And I can feel that people that are in ordinals, and I hope it stays like this, they're there for the right reason. They have like good intentions and they see where the world is going. Like, you know, with AI, with everything that is happening right now, we might have universal income. We might have a lot more abundance than people think. So Bitcoin is going to be just a place where we can hang out, create communities, play out with tech, and we'll be looking for entertainment in 10, 20 years. It's trending towards that, you know. So right now, if you're hearing this, you're probably, you know, if it's not a recording, if you're not hearing this in 10 years, in 2024, in April 8th, you're at the start of something that will be extremely huge. Take advantage of it. Like, ask question. There's no stupid question. If you feel the energy, you feel the excitement, just get started. And if you're already deep into it and you don't have your notes set up, and that would be one step that I would say, like, now is the time to get hooked up and to you know, really take advantage of what is coming. So installing your node to etch your own runes, like that's one thing for a little bit more advanced. And then if you're super advanced and you're super OG, connect with me. Let's maybe do a collab. Let's maybe help each other grow our community, achieve our vision that we have. And yeah, man, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.
Amazing, awesome, man. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on, man. It was definitely worth the wait to have you here, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next, man. Thanks. It was absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Really fun too. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Yep. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Awesome.
So we finally had him on, man. It's been absolutely amazing. We hope the entire community is happy. You guys asked for this, and we brought it to you guys. And Mr. Lucky is it's such a genuine person, man. He's such a nice, good guy, and that's the type of people we need in the space. You know, we talk about that often, and I feel like he's like the definition of what we need in this ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, the closing statements pretty much said it all, and I agree with them 100%. It's like, you know, this is not just crypto. What we're doing over here with Bitcoin Ordinals and the Bitcoin ecosystem is there's something bigger happening here. Yes, you can have monetary gain, right? But it feels different than 2020, 2021, right? Like where it was all just about money and flipping and blah, 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 so quick. At the end of the day, yes, we all want to reach a certain sense of financial freedom and stuff like that. But there's more community here, and more just kind of it feels special to be a part of this type of innovation because it is Bitcoin. Now, what does that turn into the next 6 to 12 months? We'll see. But I'm here for the ride, and I feel blessed to be a part of it. So
100%, man. I completely agree. It was perfect. But that's the show, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles. Check out our store there too if you guys want some merch. But besides that, just let's get the runes, man. I'm so excited, and thank you guys for watching.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution.